even start a podcast?
Well, I don't know.
Podcast!
So welcome back to the Disappointing Our Parents podcast.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking more today about sensory issues with BPD. So, like, we know not everyone experiences sensory issues, and we will get into that a little bit more. But for something, like for me and Katie specifically, we do both struggle with that kind of area.
Yeah. So I just gave nothing to that conversation. I just went, yep. But talking of sensory things, I actually have a story to tell you of something that happened to me tonight. And I've been so excited to tell you about this, even though it actually was terrible for me. Basically, for tea, we got these sausages from Aldi. And they're like vegetarian or maybe vegan, I'm not sure, sausages. They were pesto.
Oh, dang, I love pesto.
with cheddar or something in them.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh. Well, anyway, to be fair, I didn't see any cheddar in it when I was eating it. But what I did see was a lot of peas. And I don't know if you know this, because I don't know if I've already told you, but I have a very weird sensory sort of based phobia of peas.
Is it the shells?
It's all of it, really. It's the colour. I hate that. It's the shape. I hate that they're round and they're green.
Okay, but what do you think of sprouts?
They don't make me... I don't like them, but they don't make me feel sick.
Okay, but then why don't you like peas because of the colour? Or is it everything else as well?
Yeah, it's like... It's okay, because they're small, round, and green. I don't like the texture of them because they're like mushy. I don't even care. I don't mind the taste, which is weirder.
Do you like mushy peas?
I don't even know.
Okay, sorry.
No, I hate mushy peas.
Okay, we can move on.
If I'm eating with someone and they've got mushy peas, I can't look at them.
Really?
Yeah, and like for a while after, I will be a bit nervous around them.
Wow, so it like would make you second guess a friendship.
It would make me second guess a friendship. But
Katie, I love mushy peas.
I can't hear this.
I'm sorry.
So basically, these sausages, I was cooking them because this is what we had for dinner before I came here, and I was like, what's that round thing that's green and looks weirdly like a pea? Oh, it's a pea. I looked on the packaging, and on the back in the ingredients, it does state that there are a lot of fucking peas in it. However,
like 97%.
No, honestly, it was like one of the first ingredients. But on the actual front of the packaging, it says nothing about peas. There was enough peas in that sausage for it to be on the front packaging, I think. Yeah, and I'm not even being over dramatic about it because I don't like them. There were so many in there.
That's just such a weird combination. So cheddar, pea, and pesto sausages.
Yeah.
No wonder meat eaters hate us.
I know. But so anyway, normally, so my mum used to buy peas, right? And I used to like beg her not to. And she'd be like, you don't have to eat them. I'd be like, it's the fact that they're in the house, for one. And two, like, I don't even want to see them because it makes me like want to gag.
Right.
So I was making these sausages. It was past the point of return. They were already in the meal. I'd already mixed it in because we made pesto pasta with the pesto sausages. I mixed it in. So I was sitting there and I was eating the pasta. And I thought to myself, you need to bust this fear. You need to like just grow up a little bit. So I ate one or two. Like they were like not whole sausages, but I'd cut them up. And I could taste the peas. And like I said before, it's not even the taste of peas that I don't like, but it's the fact that I could taste the pea, so I knew I was eating the pea. Yeah. So then I was gagging a little bit. Anyway, so I was like, I can't eat any more of these. So I ate the pasta. And then I had to go into the kitchen. I had to eat loads of chocolate because I felt dirty. Yeah. The thought that I'd eaten them, and like, yeah, that's why I was late a little bit because I was just really not doing well about this peas, and the fact that I've eaten them like makes me feel sick. Yeah. Like I feel wrong.
Do you feel less of a woman?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, and also I don't have a phobia of being sick, right? But the thought, like, after I'd eaten them, I kept thinking, if I'm sick, like, I will kill myself, because I'll be being sick peas.
Oh, and then you get them double whammy.
Yeah, and I can't,
okay,
I can't. I have to, like, I'm actually slowly rocking right now, because I'm really, like, not happy about it.
Yourself.
Yeah. But I hate peas. And do you know what the worst peas are? Marrow fat peas from a tin.
What the hell is a marrow fat?
I don't know, but they're massive, and my mum loves them. She eats them all the time, and, like, oh, no. She would always, like, heat them up in this specific, like, bit of, like, not cutlery, like a bowl.
Yeah. Like in the microwave?
Yeah. And, I refuse to use that bowl, even if it's been washed. It's not washed enough.
It's the pea bowl.
Yeah. And I think, you know, at my mum's house, that pink plastic bowl, that was the pea bowl.
Really?
Yeah, it was also the bean bowl as well, where you put beans in to be heated up. But after I found out it had been used for peas, I no longer used it.
That's fair enough. Were you one of those kids, like, I couldn't have my wet food and my dry food touching?
Hated that as well.
It's like, even as an adult, like, I like sauce.
Yeah.
But it's something, like... I had to, like, push myself to like. As a kid, like, the idea of sauce, couldn't do it.
No. I liked ketchup, but I didn't like... You know, like, baked beans or, like, spaghetti hoops? If I have them on my plate, hopefully I have something that I can build a barrier. So, like, if I have chips, I build a barrier around it so it doesn't touch everything else on the plate.
I always had them in a separate bowl.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like, even with chips, like... when they get too soggy after a while.
Yeah, they do.
It's like when people dip, like, digestives in tea. I'm all for that. A good biscuit in tea. But then, like, there is a point of no return. And if it reaches that point, like...
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
And then, like, if you drop it in the tea...
Oh, the tea is undrinkable. And then you get to the bottom and it's just like...
it makes me feel sick.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, so that was my evening.
I have a lot of... sensory shit with food.
Yeah.
Like, specifically a lot of meat smells and, like, bacon.
Yeah.
And recently my little brother has been eating it every day. Like, consistently every day. The other morning I was woken up 7 a.m. to the smell of bacon in this fucking house. I literally woke up gagging. Had a go at Kain and he was like, go back to fucking bed. And I just went back to, like, sleep and just cried a little bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and, like, meat in general, like, I don't know, it's so strong. And melted cheese. The smell of melted cheese.
I don't mind that. But I'm a bit weird with cheese. I like just like the, you know, the safe autistic cheese, cheddar. But I'm not having any blue cheese or anything like that. That's too far.
Blue cheese is too far. But also, like for me, it's too far. But I really respect someone that is a commitment to cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese is dank. And if someone goes as far to like blue cheese, fair play to them. I think they've put effort into their like taste buds, or what's it called, their palate.
Yeah.
That is a palate I will never have.
No, me either. But yeah, I have a lot of... I just have sensory icks all over. Like smell, taste, sight. Some things I don't like looking at.
There was a lot of things like growing up that I didn't realise were sensory issues. Like one, every single time I went into Primark, I always cried. Now I know why. It is literally the biggest sensory overload in my entire life. But like I'd always cut the collars out of all my clothes. If anything was ever too tight around my neck, it would make me gag. Even like it doesn't even have to be touching my neck. Or like right now, like even the
sorry,
yeah. Like even the thought of having something around my neck like cringes me out for some reason.
Yeah.
But I was reading earlier, it's not just like autism or like BPD specifically. Like I think they categorized it recently. It's like sensory processing disorder. Yeah. And I think like very recently it's been categorized as its own thing. And like granted a lot of mental health conditions overlap with it. But like they are starting to recognize it as a thing, which is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah. I definitely do have sensory processing issues, especially like, but this is what I mean, like, I don't know if it is related to being autistic or like the dissociation part of BPD, because sometimes people will talk to me and like I'm not hearing what they're saying. I'm hearing it through my ears, but it doesn't, like, work in my brain. And I'm like, what did they just say? And then, like, I'll be like, oh, wait, yeah, I've got it now. It takes a while for it to compute in my brain, and I don't know if it's because of, like, being a bit dissociative, or if it's because of, like, sensory processing. So it definitely overlaps a lot.
I think at that point, and like with a lot of like mental health conditions, we are trying to differentiate them a little bit more to help them easier to not just like diagnose but to treat. But then ultimately there is a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
And like as well with, like you say, BPD, autism, ADHD, we went into it in the first episode, there's so much overlap. At like a certain point, maybe everyone's just mentally ill.
Yeah.
Or like everyone's just like neurodivergent.
I think a lot of people are neurodivergent and they just don't know.
I also don't think it's a bad thing.
No.
Like, I think there obviously are, like, certain types of additional needs that does help to have the diagnosis and then to be able to, like, treat it in certain ways and, like, give those additional needs when needed. But, like, for a lot of people, like you say, who are neurodivergent, like, there's a high chance I have autism and Kain has it too, probably. But, like, everyone I know will show small signs. But I don't know. And not to sound like too manic here, I do think a little bit it is part of the government's way to control us. But like, I will get into that another time.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah, well, like not just that, but like how they're labelling us and like with every aspect of life, people just want to put a label on things, and they think by doing that it's going to create the equality, but it's actually pushing us further away. It's just driving a wedge, and then to go even further, the wedge is capitalism, and it's all the rich pushing all these like new boundaries between poor people to get them fighting over stupid other little things. When the reality is the biggest issue is capitalism.
Definitely.
And on that note, I hate work. I hate that people have to go to work. 5 days is too much, and I think at this point, people are like, everyone is burnt out, everyone is tired, but in adulthood it never ends. You don't get that week off or that 6-week holiday in between. That's like, I would give anything to have a 6-week holiday like we did at school.
Yeah.
I think even adults, we do just need that break. And I can know how far we have come with unions and stuff, but like everywhere should have it.
Yeah, definitely. So should we talk about some of our sensory hates, aka sensory icks? So things that we really just hate. I've already spoken about one of mine, which is peas.
Oh, I love peas.
I can't like...
Do you like beans?
Okay, so I'm not the biggest fan because of similar texture.
Yeah.
However, they're not green. They're not really round. And they're in a sauce, so I feel like a lot of it is like...
Do you like butter beans, or do you like kidney beans and chilli or shit?
I do, weirdly. Although I don't like the skin. Like, you know, when some... Like, I don't mind eating them, but you know sometimes when, like, a bit of the skin falls off? I hate looking at that. Because that reminds me of a pea, when a pea does that. And beans also do that as well, and I don't like that. Yeah. But...
That's what Kain hates. Like, he likes chickpeas, but he hates the skin on them.
Yeah.
So, like, there was been this one time we've had to, like, go through a tin and, like, pick off the skins one by one individually. And, like, if anyone has any tips on how to do that quicker, please do let me know. I need them.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare. But, yeah, Kain has a lot of sensory food stuff as well.
Yeah.
For me, I get really bad sensory overload with like sound and light. When when the TV comes on really loud, all of a sudden, like, I'll have a panic attack because of something like that. And like, it's not like a full panic attack where it will take me like hours to calm down, but like it will send me like into like a moment of hysteria. Where I will just like break down and cry. And the same with lights. If something really bright comes on, and like 90% of the time we only sit with one light on in the living room because it just, like, I don't even know if it gives me a headache, but like I get really disassociated, not in a good way, and everything just feels too much.
Yeah, I get that completely. We've got a lamp in our living room, so I love having just the lamp on. The big light is a big no. I don't like the big light. I don't mind these ones because, like,
the shitty lampshade, the shitty lights that don't really come on very well.
But like, you know, when like like the big, bright, like white sort of coloured lights. I hate those. They're
orange.
like warmer, aren't
they?
Yeah.
When I was in student accommodation, we had like some really small ceiling lights that like shone on the desk, and then we had our big white one, but the big white one was like medical grade, so it was like blinding, and the other ones were like didn't really light up much of the room, and they didn't really understand what sensory was. Even though I had an accessible room for some reason.
Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, there's so many things in life that are very difficult for me and you as well, Eden, because I don't know, there's just so many things I'm just like, please stop. Do you know what I mean?
I just want everything to stop.
Yeah, me too.
It is a lot. And like not just sensory overload, but like the feeling of being overwhelmed is something that like I really didn't understand until like 3-4 years ago. I feel like throughout most of my teenage years, I felt so overwhelmed, and like people would be like, "Oh, how are you feeling?" or like, "What's wrong?" and you'd be like, "Everything."
Yeah.
But it's because like I was felt so overwhelmed. It's so hard to dissect, like how like every individual emotion I'm feeling, because I just feel like there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And when, like, I'm having sensory overload, it makes it so much worse. Like, if the big light is on, it makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
And it's, like, that's honestly, like, the worst part of it.
It is.
It's the light.
Yeah.
It's easier to deal with when the light's off.
I hate sounds a lot as well. So, like, a lot of people talking at once. Because, one, I can't concentrate on what everyone's saying because other people are talking. I'm just listening to them and I can't hear what you're saying. But also, it's just the noise and I just hate it. And, like, it makes me feel overwhelmed. And I've got loop earplugs. And they're good.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, they actually are really good. But the ones I have, you can still hear because, obviously, I use them at work. So I need to still be able to hear because I'm talking to people. So they're not, like, the amazing ones. I do want to get some which are, like, complete, what's it called?
Noise cancelling.
Yeah, noise cancelling.
Have you ever had, like, an ear test at the doctor's or hospital?
I've had it at the doctor's, I think.
When they put you in that, like, soundproof room?
Actually, I don't know if I have.
Katie, there's nothing like it. Honestly, my mum used to hate it. She'd always use, like, because I had real problems with my ears growing up, so I had to go like every 3 months to the hospital to have my ears tested. My mum used to hate it. She'd never come in the room with me. She'd always sit outside and be like, "I can't deal with the sound. You can do it," and like drop me off. Which I don't know how she didn't love it. Every part of it I loved. As soon as everyone left the room, it was just me in this room, and like the sound, like, I can't even begin to explain it. Just all like reverberates within the room. It's amazing.
I might book myself an ear test.
Do it,
just
honestly.
for the fun of it.
Go to the doctors, just be like, I think I'm having problems hearing. Like, there's no problem with that. I suppose there is with the NHS, but like, I'll pay for you to go private.
Private, just for
I
fun.
don't know. Why don't we just do a sensory deprivation pod? We don't have to lie to the NHS.
I think I would really enjoy that.
I think, is it the one when you're in the bath?
Yeah.
And you like float?
Yeah.
I think I'd like that too. But the only problem is another big like sensory hook of mine is, and it's going to make me sound disgusting, is like showering or bathing.
No, I get that completely.
The feeling of, it's not the shower itself, it's the feeling of getting out of the shower.
Yeah.
And like that sudden change. Like when I get in the shower, I don't mind because it's like usually quite warm.
Yeah.
But like as soon as you step out, because we've got to open the window because if not it will get mouldy.
Yeah.
It's like instant coldness. And even like the height of summer, like it just makes me feel weird.
No, I have that. So before I go in the shower, I'm like, I do not want to be in the shower at all. Like this, I do not want to go in there. When I'm in there, I'm like, I do not want to get out of the shower. I hate the transition of like going from being dry to wet to have to dry again. I hate it.
And it's not so much my body, it's mainly my hair.
Oh no, I hate
like
washing my hair.
drips down my neck. And
I know what you mean.
And as well, like, if you've ever had a really hot shower and you're, like, sweating, but you're also wet. And I hate that feeling as well.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was, like, 12 years old, I went to Butlins with one of my friends and, like, her family. And the pool was so hot. And I was sweating, but I was also swimming. And it was, like, it was so weird. I didn't like it.
I know what you mean, because me and Rachel, I don't know when it was. It might have been last year or the year before. I can't remember. It wasn't. It was not last year, the year before. We went to this like Airbnb thing, and they had a hot tub there. It was really nice and everything, but after a while I had to get out because I was so hot in there that I was sweating, but I was wet. And I was like, well, how is this happening at the same time?
Hot tubs are horrible.
They're hot. Like, obviously they are hot because they're hot tubs, but like, because I'd never been in one before.
Had you not?
No, so I was like in it and I was like, yeah, this is nice, but I think I'll get out now. Like, it's a bit too hot now.
I don't know how people can stay in it. Like, and yeah, it is nice, but
I think I could stay in it if it was just like warm.
Yeah, if it was like a bath when you get in it.
Then I guess that defeats the whole hot tub aspect of it, I guess.
But like, what about that makes your body feel good?
Yeah, because why is it now really hot? Why am I sweating when I'm in here?
Yeah, I would like to be like a mid-temp.
Yeah.
But then I suppose it does keep your face warm if it's a cold night.
Yeah, because obviously most of them are outside.
Yeah.
And the one we went in was outside, but it was in the summer, so like, it wasn't like... I imagine going in it in the winter would be really nice, because you'd be cold, and then you'd get in it and it'd be really nice and warm.
But it was just hot and it was non-escapable. Like, you'd get out and you'd still be hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was nice, though. It was fun. But, like, I just couldn't stay in there for too long.
So I was reading, like, some news articles earlier to try to get some more information about, like, sensory and BPD. And this just sort of made me laugh the way they've worded this, right? Patients with borderline personality disorder and sensory processing disorder are poorer in psychosocial functions and other disorders. And like, it's referenced it, but the dude that obviously like made the original study was called Rawling. And I don't know why that's made me laugh so much. Yeah, and like is like a correlation between borderline traits and like sensory traits as well.
Yeah.
Even down to like the inability to establish close relationships, inappropriate affect or restricted and suspicious or paranoid thoughts. I hate the idea of like a suspicious thought because like all my thoughts are suspicious. They literally like all creep in like to Pink Panther music.
Yeah.
Like... Are people not supposed to have suspicious thoughts?
Also, suspicious, it just sounds silly.
It does sound
like,
silly.
Oh, have you got a little suspicious thought there?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I was thinking maybe like suspicious behaviour, because that would make sense, but like suspicious thought.
But even suspicious behaviour sounds silly. It sounds like you're walking around like somewhere with like a magnifying glass.
Yeah. Like a trench coat. Yeah. Like you're always ready
like
for
sunglasses.
Do you know, though, I think that's actually a compliment. I would love to be described as suspicious.
Yeah, because then it's like you're mysterious.
Actually, mysterious is a lot better.
Yeah, there's suspicious. Suspicious is like you're going to get, like, I don't know, arrested at the airport.
Moment, yeah. When me and Kain, we went to Amsterdam, we were 18. On the way back, right, we went through, like, things to declare, because, like, we brought back some stuff. And like we walked in and some dude was like had his trousers down the floor and was like bent over the table. And this woman was like, you go round nothing to declare, and we were like, Fairs, yeah, we will. But like, can you imagine if we were smuggling drugs?
Yeah.
That was suspicious, the airport's behaviour.
Yeah, also, why did they have his trousers down and he was bent over a table in the middle of the airport? That's very uncommon.
So like it was like you went down a corridor and it split into two.
Okay.
And one was things to declare and one was nothing to declare.
Yeah.
So you like went round and it was like round a circle bit out into the middle. And we like walked round the circle bit and he was like in there. And like,
so he wasn't just... in my head, he was just in the middle of the airport, trousers down, God. Strip search. That's what I was seeing in my head. I thought, that's not really like... his poor privacy.
Please don't care about privacy. I'm not going to get into this. I feel like I'm on the edge of a good manic episode.
Just heard Lady Gaga.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I would love to get so engrossed in mania that I became or thought I was Lady Gaga. Maybe not Lady Gaga. Maybe like. I hate to say this, but I can't really see that happening to you. What I can see, however, is you thinking that you're talking to Lady Gaga after you friended her on Facebook, and then you go on Catfish, and then it turns out it's actually not Lady Gaga. But then, like, I still don't believe it because I know I'm talking to Lady Gaga.
Like that guy with Katy Perry. And he messaged her again saying, I know it is you, Kate. That was the best episode. Or one of the best.
That is so funny. Yeah. I feel like I'm not too sane, but, like, I'm too nihilistic too much of the time to be able to lose control completely in that sense. However, like, there are certain, like, conspiracy theories, like, I feel like I'll ride the wave of, I really do want to start my cult. I am, like, well, I'm 3 chapters into my manifesto, but that was about a year ago, and I've not touched it since, but I will get there.
What is the cult name?
I haven't came up with a cult name yet.
The Cult of Eden.
I don't know, because I don't want it to be, like, an egotistical cult. It's going to be more, like communistic. I want us to live as one, connect with Mother Nature. Like, yeah, me and my followers are probably all going to do mushrooms, but, like, that's part of the experience.
Well, what about...
Like, you don't have to. That's the thing, because, like, I obviously know people aren't always going to want to do it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's why I'll give them acid.
What about the... Oh, no, I can't think of anything. I'm sorry. I was trying to think of, like, a good one, but I couldn't.
But, like, I mean, I guess if I wanted it to be egotistical, I could call it Eden something, especially if it is going to be about nature, but, like...
You could call it the Garden of Eden.
That's not creative. I'm really sorry. I love you so much, right? But, like, that was really not creative.
Even I thought that was really good.
I'm so sorry.
I was so impressed with myself. Yeah, I was like, oh, the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. But I have to say it, like, when I'm on the phone at work, people think I say Ian. They're like, oh, what's your name? I'm like, Eden. They're like, Ian. I'm like, no, Eden, like the garden.
You don't look like an Ian to me.
But they obviously can't see me.
Oh, yeah.
But I like, yeah, it happens all the time. Or even. Even's not even a name. I mean, even Stevens.
True. Although, sometimes, because I noticed this when I was editing the last episode of the podcast, how Norfolk my accent is. I never think about it and I never hear it until I was listening back to myself and I was like, Jesus Christ.
I don't think you sound like Norfolk.
You need to listen to the last episode of the podcast. Some of the things I say, I'm like, what? Does it even make sense?
Okay, so your slang and your, like, etiquette is very Norfolk. But I don't think you have a Norfolk accent. Tractor. Combine harvester.
Tractor?
Yeah, but see, you don't sound like that. It's like tractor.
Tractor.
Like tractor.
Tractor?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not that bad, but...
Okay, if we go to any one of the pubs around here, you will see that you do not have a Norfolk accent.
I'll sound very posh.
There are some men in their 50s from Norfolk, and they talk to me, and I'm like, I can't understand you, mate.
That's my grandparent.
Is it?
Yeah. But anyway... I don't pronounce my T's very often, so sometimes I'll say, hi, this is Katie, and obviously on the phone it sounds a bit different, so people will be like, oh, Kaylee, and I'm just like, yeah.
You just go with it.
Or like I'll ring up the doctor and I'll be like, KT, but I feel weird saying the T in my name.
It feels too forceful.
It does.
Literally, I was watching a video about this the other day, about how, like, in English, without realising it, we have, like, stressed and unstressed words, and, like, the way we say words and, like, which way we put them around. So, for example, like, salt and pepper, because salt is a hard T, we count that as a stressed word, because pepper is, like, there's no hard letters in it. We count it as an unstressed word, and then we'd prefer to leave it on an unstressed word.
Yeah. Pepper and salt. Chips and fish. Can't think of anything else.
But even, like, when, you know, like, when you say people's names together.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Eden and Kain.
Yeah.
Kain and Eden doesn't sound...
It doesn't.
And, like, yeah, it's like
Katie and Rachael.
Rachel and Katie. Yeah, Katie and Rachael.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you've got the hard T.
Yeah.
Because you're stressed.
That is true.
I know.
To be fair, I've been stressed since I was born.
So, going back to what we were saying earlier, because I did want to also mention, like, again, because we mentioned it in the first episode about how a lot of the symptoms overlap with, like, ADHD and autism, but, like, so much so that, like, there have been quite a few studies come out in the past 5 years where people are thinking about considering, like, BPD, like, EUPD or whatever, as like a neurodivergent condition, opposed to sort of like the mental health condition that it currently is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like with BPD, there is still a lot of stuff that is mental health.
Yeah.
But like, there is so many symptoms that overlap. Like, I can see why
there
they're
definitely
studying
is.
it.
And because at one point I thought that I didn't have BPD and I actually had autism, but it turns out I actually have both. But that's because, like, when I was questioning, is because some of the symptoms are so similar, but then some of the symptoms are not similar at all. To where I'm like, well, that's obviously the BPD.
Yeah.
That's obviously
That's
the
where you
autism.
differentiate it.
Yeah, but there are things that are very, very, like, they cross over so closely, and I think that is a lot of like the sensory thing as well.
I have thought that I don't have like any mental health conditions, and it's just like the way I think.
Yeah.
Like, going back to it earlier when I was like, it's a government bid for control. Like, because it is just the way I think, and so many people think differently, and it is just people who don't want to conform to the average like lifestyle, that grind, that 9 to 5 or whatever. The people that can't keep up with society. That doesn't make you mentally unwell.
Yeah.
It just means we are living in a shitty situation. Like,
Yeah.
and like, granted, there are some behaviours that I have that like definitely are mental illness, but like also I think a lot of it is mindset. A lot of it is just nihilism, or like and it's just the terms that we use for it, because like you could find philosophical terms for it, which basically are the same thing as like depression or whatever. It's just like more of a symptom thing. I suppose with like mental health, like they diagnose symptoms opposed to like a thought process.
Yeah. And like being neurodivergent is just a different thought process to people who are like, what's the word? Atypical? No.
Neurotypical?
Neurotypical. That's the word I was looking for.
Normies.
They're normies. But yeah, I don't know. I was going to say something, but I can't remember. I've been very dissociative this week, you know.
Yeah.
Last night we went food shopping, and like, I can't even remember it.
I hate food shopping.
So do I. It's horrible.
There's just... I liked going in Ipswich. I would go at 9:30 at night before the Lidl shut at 10, and it was so empty.
Nice.
And it was actually lovely.
Yeah.
It was like, do you remember like Tesco, and they did a sensory hour on a certain night a week where they would like dim the lights, they'd make it quiet, like people wouldn't talk to you and like that. That's a fantastic idea.
It is.
And not even just for like autism, ADHD or whatever, just for people in general.
Yeah.
Sensory is a big thing, and I think a lot of people will be having like some kind of sensory issue. They don't even know they're having like sensory overload. Like I say, I didn't even really know why I was having every panic attack I had in Primark until I was like 21, 22.
Yeah, exactly. And there's been so many times in the past where I look back now and I'm like, oh, that was because I really hated some sensory aspect of it. But like at the time, I didn't know it was those things that were making everything worse. And there's been situations now where I'm finding something difficult, but what's making it a million times worse is like the sensory input. So the lights, the noise. If those things weren't there, I might still find it hard, but it wouldn't push me over the edge.
Yeah. Sensory is always the issue that tops the cake. That pushes you over the edge.
Yeah. It really is.
I think we should finish up now.
Yeah.
It's been good though. I think we've had it a lot more structured than last time.
Yeah, definitely.
We've stuck to one topic and not just spoke about shit.
Yeah. I think we're doing well.
We are doing well. And this is our 3rd week, so we'll see you guys in the 4th.
Yeah, and also, I have been ill. Things have been happening. We are recording this the day before it goes live, and it will be going live because I'm going to edit it when I get home.
Hell yeah.
We're doing this.
I love the grind.
I know.
The
The passion I have for this is something else. But it's like the other day when I was really ill and I like messaged you and I was just like, I still have high hopes this is going out on Friday.
Yeah.
And it is happening.
Yeah, because we were supposed to do it Tuesday.
No, it was Sunday,
Sunday.
wasn't it? But
no,
then,
it was Friday.
oh yeah, but then I was really, I got really burnt out because I had to go help some people. Anyway, it's a long story.
Yeah.
And then we were like, let's do it on the Sunday instead. And then I was ill and Rachel messaged you and was like, she's not coming. I had a severe temperature and I was going a bit loopy upstairs.
Were you?
A little. I tend to when I have a temperature.
Do you?
Yeah, I was getting really confused about stuff. But yeah. So I'm proud of us for making it happen.
I'm proud of us for making it happen. And this is not hyperfixation.
It's not. This is our third. We started this before Christmas.
We did this. When did we start it? Like, we started talking about it at the start of December, at least.
And it is now nearly the end of January.
Yeah. It's so rare we pull off one of these.
I know, I can't believe we've pulled it off.
I know. But yeah.
So thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Bye. I don't know why I waved.